Hi everyone, thanks for being with us here on our online campus at Central Christian and is just being a part of our whole online community. Again, I just want to say thank you for that. We are continuing in a series, I Am, this upcoming weekend. And I don't know about you, but I've been really challenged already by this series. And I think this upcoming weekend is going to even challenge us even more. And I know it's already challenging me. And we're going to answer the question, and we're going to look at the question that Jesus answers. And the question is this, and I believe it's a question that we're really dealing with in our culture today. In fact, if we can get past the surface of all the problems or all the issues or all the discussions that are going on and really dive deep into it, I think this is the underlying thing that people are asking. Who's going to love me? Who's going to love me? Now, if you are a March Madness fan, you already know, and if you follow the news, you've seen already the different teams that have been out already of the tournament. I can think just recently, Ohio State, they were upset, and some people sent some death threats to some of the players. And I think those players are asking, it's gone too far, but at the same time, they're asking the question, who's going to love me? Now, I know when you hear that question, you say, well, you know, we use the word love in so many different ways now, and it really doesn't have the meaning behind it, that the truth behind it. So when we say, who's going to love me, we just kind of flippantly look at it. Again, it's just kind of the surface thing. But I think really what we're doing with society and culture, whether it be losing of a ball game or maybe a senior adult that's struggling not to remember the way they used to, and they realize that something's just not right, they're asking the question, well, who's going to love me? If I come out and really admit this, who's going to love me? Or the young lady that is in a relationship, that she knows the relationship is not healthy. I don't know if you know or not, but in the most recent statistics, at least what I've seen, 1 out of 3 young ladies between the age of 12 and 22 that are dating right now, 1 in 3 are being abused in some way. 1 in 3. And the question is, who's going to love me? You know, we deal in a culture society today, whether we're talking about who's, you know, from a church perspective, we talk about who's going to clothe the naked or who's going to feed the hungry. And a lot of times we rally around feeding specifically children, and we should. But another large group that aren't being fed or at least struggling for food are senior adults. And the question is, who's going to love me? Or what about through this horrific thing we've gone through with this pandemic of COVID? And people that have lost loved ones, asking the question, who's going to love me? Those that are struggling financially, those that have lost jobs, even before COVID, even before we started dealing with COVID, were those that were dealing with the loss of job or struggles of financially or just trying to find their niche. Or again, we are having these discussions about sexual orientation and different things. I think it's real easy to call people names. It's real easy to group of people and give them a label. It's real easy to keep our heads down. It's really hard to sit down with someone and engage with them and have a conversation with them. And see, I think our society and culture, no matter where you're at, no matter where you live, I think the question that a lot of people are asking, who's going to love me? And over in John chapter 10, specifically looking at verses 1 through 18, we see Jesus, he speaks into this question. He gives us the answer, how to answer this question. And it's an answer to that question that transcends where anything else, where any issues at, where any problem that we are dealing with or others are dealing with. The question, who's going to love me? Are you going to love me? Is the church going to love me? Who's going to love me? It's a question I think we need to wrestle with more. And it's a question that the answers are there. We just have to be willing to wrestle with it, to dive into it, and to be present and available, to be a part of the solution. And we're going to talk about all that this upcoming weekend. So whether it be online, whether it be in person, let me just encourage you to be sharing, to be inviting, and I look forward to seeing everyone this upcoming weekend.